Welcome back to my channel. I just realized I set my start time as 9:05. That wasn't on purpose. That was some kind of weird mistake. Not sure how I did that one. Easy enough, I suppose, really, when you're setting it up. I obviously clicked on, instead of 2 zeros, I obviously clicked on 05. Don't ask me why. I have good news. My foot is finally healed, and I got to take the boot off and wear a shoe for 4 hours today. Tomorrow, I get to wear it for 6 hours. And then the next day, I get to wear it for 8 hours. And then I am boot free. But I will have to wear shoes. I said, even when I get up in the middle of the night, because you just have to go to the bathroom. And they're like, I'm sorry, for the first month, you gotta wear shoes. So that means sleep in your shoe if you get up in the middle of the night. Or you gotta stop and put shoes on. And I'm like, oh, man. And I hate wearing shoes, but he goes, I can't take a chance and damage my foot again because it's still fragile. So shoes are to become my constant companion still. I mean, I've been wearing them for 3 months almost now because I've had to. But I hate shoes. They hurt my feet. I'm not comfortable. And I've always been a barefoot person. Child, adult. If I don't have to wear shoes, I don't. So I'm not too happy with that. But it means getting out of the boot. So I'm happy about that part of it. Unfortunately, my foot was very swollen from being in the boot. And the shoes being brand new because he wanted my brand new diabetic shoes. We shoved my foot in it, and I had it on for 4 hours, and my daughter took it off. It was so swollen. And it's like we had to put the boot back on, and I can't put my own shoes on anyhow. So she had to help me. And I'm like, oh my God, this thing's so tight we can barely get it closed. But she had to put it back on. So it's like, okay, it's on. It's tight, but it's on. Good news is tomorrow I get to take my first shower, providing nothing goes wrong getting into the tub. There could still be issues because I'm having a hard time because of the pain in my knees from all the extra pain from the decrease in pain medicine. I may not be able to get into the tub to take the shower. So we'll have to see what happens when the time comes for me to climb into the shower. I asked my occupational therapy to be the first one. Plus, because she knows what she's doing. And if the aide shows up and happens to be there, she can show her to make sure nothing goes wrong. Because I don't want to be back in the boot because we did something stupid. So my first shower may be a group activity, but oh well, no big deal. I don't worry about that kind of stuff anymore. After having 3 kids and being in a hospital most of my life, or it seems like most of my life, I'm used to group everything. So, not a big deal. It'll be so nice to have a shower, get my hair washed and everything. So my life is changing, hopefully for the better, but it is awkward with the shoes so tight. It is uncomfortable, but the shoes have never been worn, so they're not stretched out. And, there's even like the extra inserts to go in there are thicker than normal. They've never been worn. So my feet is really jammed in this shoe. The right foot was fine, the one that wasn't broken, but the other foot, man, very uncomfortable. So Today was the first steps, and I was terrified. I was so afraid. I said, what if I fall flat on my face? He goes, you got your walker. It's right in front of you. Take one step. Come on, you can do it. Like trying to talk a child into doing something. That's what I felt like. So I took the step. I didn't fall flat on my face. My feet were sore because the shoes were so tight, but I wore them home, walked around the apartment. My daughter's been helping me clean up in the hopes that I'm moving soon. We have taken so much stuff out of this place, and there is like a ton of stuff that's just, it's expired. I mean, I have things expired from 2004, 2006. My daughter's like, what are you doing? I said, well, when I can't find something, I buy it again. So I have 10 bottles of this and 4 tubes of that. It's like, well, gonna say. Then as we're going through my medicine cabinet, we come across all the NSAIDs, non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory, whatever the heck it means. I'm not allowed to have them anymore because of my blood thinners. So I told her, I said, look, some of this stuff's not even open and it isn't expired. Hey, Dee Dee. Yeah, you never. And you know what the thing is? We have taken 2 days, full days, and tons of stuff out of here, and you wouldn't know what to look at this place. Like, I hardly made a dent in it. It's like, when is it going to look like we did something? Very aggravating. So, she's been helping me. And I said, take these home if somebody in your house can use them, because I'm not allowed to have them, and I don't want them here to accidentally take them, because it could cause a really bad problem with the blood thinner. So please take them and get them out of here. So there's no NSAIDs in my house. We're all gone. All I have is Tylenol, which, of course, I ordered Tylenol 4 bottles because I did not have any Tylenol. Didn't have any Tylenol. Guess how many bottles we found while going through my stuff? 2 bottles, unopened. I'm like, oh boy. I said, put them on the table. They're the ones that are going to expire first. So put them on the table. Pack the other stuff away. And it's like, oh. But she's like an organizer. She is really good at this kind of stuff. And now I can see what I have. Everything is packed together. So, I don't have a toothbrush over here and a bottle of deodorant or can or roll-on or whatever deodorant over here. And in the same box, you'll also find first aid ointment and, like she separated everything. So it's findable. It's easily accessible. I can see it now. And I have a lot less stuff. The closet does look good, though. There's still a little bit more in the closet than should be, but it looks great. You can see the shelves. The shelves are all cleaned out and set in there. Everything's nicely. Everything's packed together. So it looks really good in there. So, yeah, she worked really hard. And I'm so thankful that she has the organizing tendencies, because I sure don't have them. And that's why I'm a hoarder to boot. I got so much stuff. We have to get rid of the stuff. I can't take it with me. And it's hard. Sometimes I don't want to give it up. And then we found something. And I started crying. My daughter's like, what is wrong? What happened? Because she handed me something. And I looked at it. And I started crying. And she's like, what's wrong? I said, I gave this to my mom, and she would not go to bed to sleep at night unless she had it behind her head. And it was just a little thing that, one of those stuffed things with, smelly lavender, whatever, potpourri or whatever that stuff, in a thing, but I had bought it for her, and like she always slept with it. My mom said going 8 years, and I'm sitting there crying like crazy, and she's like, "It's all right, it's all right." So next thing I look over, and she starts crying. I'm finally stopping. Now she's crying because now I got her started. I'm like, "Oh no, here we go again." So now we're sitting there both crying. I said, it's the small things, the things you don't even think about that will start. The weirdest things will start, missing someone that you wouldn't even think of. I mean, she always had to have that to go to bed, though. I mean, it was a big thing. When we couldn't find it, she wasn't going to bed till we found it. So, like, it was a major part of the end of her life. And it just was really hard for me to deal with looking at it. Finally, I said, please take it away from me and please get rid of it because I can't have that here. I'm going to be doing this every time I look at it. And I don't need it here. I don't even know why it's here. I guess I took it as a as a remembrance, but I really don't need to have it to remember her. Dee Dee says it is nice that you still have it after all this time. Family crying is like yawning. Yeah, you're right. Once one starts, everybody joins in. Well, see, and she just lost her father-in-law, so her husband lost his father. So they have a really open wound. I mean, my mom's been going 8 years almost, but his dad just passed away a few months ago. So she says they're really having a hard time because everything they do reminds them of his dad. So they're going through the same thing. So she really understood what I was going through. So we had a rough moment there, but we got through it. And I said, please just get rid of it. I don't need that to remember her. And I don't want to be crying every time I turn around. And I really didn't have it's not like it was something I could use. It wasn't really, something that could be used and kept and used, or something you want on your shelf, or, it was just a thing full of potpourri that she put behind her neck every night before she went to sleep. So, strange things. So, I hope the next time, I'm still waiting to hear whether I got the place. The next time we do it, we still have a lot of stuff, and I hope, though, it starts looking like we're making progress. But I have to tell my aide, do not touch anything. Do not move anything. She just starts moving things around. I'm finding things I can't find in the weirdest places. I'm like, what did she do that for? She found a hole, so she stuffed something in it. It's got to stop. And my daughter says, if she messes up all my hard work, you better tell her, warn her, do not touch my stuff. Do not touch the closet. Do not touch anything. Do not move anything. Leave everything where it is. I will move it when I'm ready to put it in its home, if I'm still here, or pack it away. The aide doesn't know I'm signed up for assisted living. I haven't told her, because I'm afraid they'll take my aide away, and I need the aide, even though she's more trouble, I think, than having no aide was. She really is a pain. I shouldn't say that. We are not very compatible. And although I did not tell her boss that the other day when she asked me flat out, how are things going? Is everything okay with the aide? Are you, I'm like, oh, geez, I can't tell you what I want to tell you, besides the fact she was sitting there. No, she wasn't here yet. That's right. She wasn't coming in that day. I was calling to find out. They didn't tell me. When they told me she was coming, I had to take flexible hours. They didn't tell me she was taking 3 weeks off in July. And I called to ask, are you going to send somebody to take her place? We're not sure. We're trying to find a substitute. So that's when she asked me how things were going. And I just said, fine. You don't want to know. I don't want to tell you. And I don't want her yanked out of here because at least she's doing a few things. I don't think she's cleaned my bathroom since she's been here. It looks, I see things that I purposely leave to see how long it's going to take her. Still there. Not cleaning things. My microwave is filthy. Doesn't clean in there after using it. I don't think she's washing the kitchen counter. She vacuums every few days. That's nice. I have severe asthma. My other aide vacuumed every day, dusted every day. She cleaned most things in the house. This one, I don't know what she thinks her job is. Because I get full. I need all the help, you know. So she's not just here for amusement or, you know, to dust my furniture. Or, I mean, she's sure to do laundry and all kinds of stuff. Maybe they'll get somebody new for the few weeks and who is a better aide. Then we're going to have a problem. Because if I say, well, I'd rather have her, that could cause a problem. Definitely could cause a problem. I don't know. Having an aide, they're a blessing and a curse sometimes. This one. And her English is not wonderful. She's from Haiti. The other one was from Bulgaria. And, you know, trying to deal with somebody who speaks English as a second language can be difficult sometimes. And then there's usually an accent. It's like half the time I can't even understand what she's talking about, which I hate. You know, it's very rough. So, enough of the aides. That's depressing me. So, I have to finish starting. I'm trying to set up book 2. If I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do anything with it. But I had to finish setting that up. That'll be my nano project for camp. And I also have book 3, which I'm, getting ready in case I decide to work on them both. Because I'm a nano rebel. And I do what I want. So I have 20,000 words. And if I put, you know, whatever on the first one and whatever on the second one, or all in one, you know, I'll decide. But I need to have them ready to go. And then I'm also doing my, you know, trying to keep my blog up. And I just started a new blog story, which I use prompts and write every day another piece of the story. So these parts books 2 and 3 are both the same thing. That's what I did. I wrote, you know, one was 44 parts and one was 50 parts. So it's not really exactly an outline, but it's kind of an outline. So I copied each piece over, put it in the document to give me an idea of what I wanted to do, you know, and I just have to fill it out and whatnot. So in a way, I kind of have an outline. Not that I outline, but I kind of have one. So that's what I'm doing. Are you writing tonight, Dee Dee? I'm going to start the first stream, the first sprint soon. 2 hours goes so fast. I can't believe how fast it goes. Hey, I'm just finishing up one that took me a year. So a few months isn't a big deal. When you think back on it, like I said, this one took me, first book number 1 took me a whole year. I started in camp of last year, and I'm just finishing it up now. July 1st is the deadline to be to the editors, so whole year. Will the other 2 take as long? Might take longer. I don't know. I still haven't decided if I want to do a series. So I may be writing a bunch of stuff for nothing. Who knows? I don't. All right. Well, let's get a sprint going because we're already 20 minutes in. I haven't done anything yet. I got it set up for 20 minutes. So we'll do a 20-minute sprint starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Okay, there's the timer. Can't rush perfection. Nope, that's for sure. If I had my way, I'd still be fussing with it. I was fussing with it last night. I'm like, you're supposed to be done. What are you doing? What are you doing? I was messing with it last night. Like, the sooner I get it to the editor, the better off I'll be. And stop playing with it then. It is done. All right, well, I'll see you back here in almost 20 minutes. Got to take the mute off again. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Jippers. Nice to see you both. I was working on my blog story, and I was engrossed in it. And I knew the timer was close, but I had to keep on typing. And it's like, oh, darn. I got, I don't know, probably a couple hundred words in. How are you guys doing? Anybody get anything done? I'm not sure when you guys showed up. I was telling because you guys missed it, Charlie. I'm in the boot right now, but today was day one of my weaning over to a real shoe and walking on a shoe. And I was terrified to take that first step. I was so afraid I was going to fall flat on my face. But I spent 4 hours in the shoe today. I get to spend 6 hours tomorrow, 8 hours the next day, and then I am boot free unless something horrible goes wrong. The x-ray showed that it has finally healed. So that's great news. I can't wait to get it all the way off. It's on right now because I had my 4 hours and now it's back on my foot. And tomorrow's my first shower that I've had in about close to 3 months. It'll be nice. Even if it's going to be a group shower, it'll be nice to have a shower. So Charlie says, oh, that is awesome. Yeah, very awesome. I am so glad to be finally on the very brink of getting this boot off completely. 2 more days of weaning and then I'm free. Dee Dee said she actually did some writing on that sprint. Good job. Chipper says, I'm okay. I plan on doing schoolwork. Yeah, I understand, but it's got to be done. And thank you. Yay. I'm sure that's because I'm getting my boot off, not because you're doing schoolwork. Charlie says, I set up the new 5-track EP to come out in the next few days on my music accounts. Well, that sounds like a good news. Is the EP extended play? Or is this something else? Yeah, I'm so glad too. I was beginning to wonder if I was going to wear that boot the rest of my life. Almost 3 months in the boot. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Please don't let me break any more bones. Please, please, please. Oh. So it does mean extended play. So it's not just a little piece. It'll be obviously much longer. That's cool. I'm having problems making videos again, so I don't know. I wanted to make a video, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen because for some reason, and it has to be, YouTube keeps changing things. I cannot transfer from my phone to YouTube again. So I have to figure out the new secret that YouTube has done that prevents me from doing that. I am the first person to know that. Well, thank you. Cool. That's great. Now I just have to get a chance to hear it. Music channels. Is that different from the ones that I'm aware of? Do I have to look for another channel? I'm not sure what your music channel, which one you consider your music channel. But I would love to hear it. I've loved everything you've done so far. I turned the music from my Breaker of Change story I did for the anthology into 5 tracks. Okay, I listened to all the anthology the other night after you gave me the link, or I went and looked for the link. I can't remember whether you gave it to me or I went to your channel and got it. But I listened to all the stories. I'm trying to think about music, though. I don't really. That's not sticking. Oh, Project Shadow is. Oh, that's the music channel? I've been on there a few times. I'll have to be looking out for that. Sounds cool. Yeah, I listened to the different stories that were on the anthology. You were right about. I did like Chloe's was something. You mentioned Chloe's, and that was pretty good. I like that one a lot. You have way too many channels, Charlie. I can't keep them straight. I'm trying, but I have trouble sometimes. I can find mine because I'm the only one. Would you believe I just found out? I was messing around with it, and I finally figured out how to put my favorite channels on the bottom of my main page. I didn't know how to do that before, and we had tried one time. I never could get it, and I finally figured it out the other day. So I've got me. Let's see, put 12 channels up. So I finally got my channels up on there, and then I forgot where I was going with this. Where was I going with this? Oh my gosh, I got it. Oh, the year I originally made my very first video was in 2011. 10 years ago. I remember making those first few videos. I didn't do them for long, and they were mainly on my bipolar disorder. And I erased them all and made the channel just writing. But that was 2011 because it keeps track of your very first time. It doesn't care how many times you change subjects. My original time, my very first video was in 2011. All right. Say hi to Brian. Have a great time, you two. All right. Well, I'll keep trying to remember to look for it. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for letting me be number 1. Makes me feel special. Okay. Have a nice night. All right, guys. We need to get back to sprinting, because we didn't get too much done so far. There's Greg. Hi, Greg. You didn't hear. I only have 2 more days in my boot. I walked today for 4 hours on my shoe. Tomorrow is 6 hours. The next day is 8 hours, and then I am boot free. So I am almost out. So I am very happy. We're just getting ready to start our second sprint. talking as usual. So let me get the timer started. 20 minutes starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Ow! Well, it's in the comments. If you back up a little bit, Charlie told me something, and I was the first one he told. They told. I keep doing that, don't I? I'm sorry. I don't know if I'll ever get over this, all this non-binary thing. I can't keep everybody straight. They're a they, a she, not a he, and I keep saying he, and I keep apologizing. I gotta stop apologizing. I'm just the way I am. I'm crying. But anyhow, I was the first one to learn about some new music they're putting out on, it's Project Shadow. He has they have a lot of channels. So Project Shadow will have this new music, and it's long extended play. It's not just a little piece, like most of them are really short. This one's going to be longer, but it's not out yet, I guess is what he was telling me. Said it could take up to a week. So I actually got to be number 1. He said, you're the first person I thought. So it makes me feel good. Sometimes I feel like I'm the last person to hear everything. So we're on our second sprint, because I've been jabbering up about my foot for a long time to Dee Dee. Then I had to tell the next person and the next person. So I've been talking about my foot a lot. Oh, I got the 200 subs? Well, thank you. I stopped looking because I was so frustrated. Yay, I hit 200 subs. I just said, the heck with it. Forget it. I'm not going to worry about it. And now, look, it happens. But I'm not going to get too excited, because they could go away just as fast as they came on. So until I get far enough into 200, I don't want to get too excited about 200. But thanks for letting me know. That's nice to know. Okay, well, I'm not sure what you're doing tonight. I'm writing a post for my blog, so this is our second sprint, so I'm not getting much done today. This has been such a day. My daughter's been over the last 2 days. We've been tearing this place apart and taking tons of stuff out, and you would not know it to look at it. That's how much junk I got in here. But it's a lot more organized than it was. And tomorrow I get to take my first shower, which may sound like a silly thing to get excited about, but I need to take a shower. I am tired of these sponge baths, and I will be so happy to have my first shower. So hopefully it'll work out, and it's going to be a group shower. Nothing like putting on a show while you're taking a shower. But I can't take a shower alone, and I need to make sure that nothing goes wrong. So I will have my occupational therapy here, and depending on when the aide shows up, she might be here too. So it might be a group shower. Hopefully it's just the occupational therapy, and she'll make sure that everything goes right and I get in and out without doing any damage to my foot. Okay, you need to work on your next video. Cool. Okay. Well, we got 15 minutes left, so I will be back in 15 minutes. Alrighty. So I'm almost done one part of the story. Still have another one to do today. So doing yesterday's right now. Um, Hi Kelly. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Dee Dee said I was supposed to leave at 10, so I'm going to go ahead and head out for the night. Thanks for sprints and have a good night. Oh. Okay, well, if you're still here, good night, and thank you for coming. Hope to see you again soon. And hope you got something done while you were here. Okay. So how did everybody else do? I am anxiously waiting for Nana to start, because that means I have to start working on that story. And since I'm be on a time sprint, I mean, I need to do 20,000 words, and it's really not a lot of words in a month. So I'm sure it won't be an issue, really. So we'll see. See how it goes. Greg said progress is very slow today. Wasn't feeling well and have been procrastinating all day. I'm sorry to hear you aren't feeling well. I can understand the procrastination if you don't feel well. Believe me. I'm in a pretty good mood because I got good news today. So I was afraid to go and they were going to say, you're going to be nothing another month. So I'm not in the mood for another month, thank God. I've been on now though. And I have to sleep in my shoe. He says, you can't be barefoot. You have to have shoes on. I said, you mean if I get up in the middle of the night, I have to put shoes on to go to the bathroom? He goes, yeah. So if you get up a lot, you might want to consider sleeping in your shoes. I was like, great. I went from sleeping in my boot to sleeping in my shoes. Those shoes, I would normally say are more comfortable. These are so tight. I'm not so sure about that one. But hopefully the swelling in my foot will go down by the time I have to actually sleep in the darn things and have them on 24 hours a day. Gee, 24 hours a day. Shoes. I hate shoes. Let's see. Nobody else looks like either the links are coming through very slowly to the messages or nobody else did anything. Greg says earlier I had a comment under one of my videos saying that my code didn't work. I was expecting one of these comments sooner or later. The code is clearly demonstrated in the video. And the commentator didn't elaborate. That figures. So it's probably some troll trying to start trouble. Unless he can come up with something that shows that the code doesn't work, try to ignore him or her. Because you're going to get people like that, unfortunately. I mean, I get stupid things, and what do I do? I'm writing, I just go in and delete some of the stuff that's in there. Report it if it's spam. If they're just stating a comment, of course, there's not much you can do about it. They're allowed to state their comment. If they're not, doing something that's not good. Kelly says, I've been researching the criminal justice system and the different agencies. Very interesting stuff. I did that when I was first starting this thing, trying to get an idea, because I didn't know how the justice system really worked, and I didn't know much about my own particular state, which happens to be New Jersey. And I was writing my story in a fictitious town in the state of New Jersey. So I kind of have to follow the rules for the state I'm writing about. So yeah, um, there's a lot to learn. And I read a lot of stuff about different things, and because I have them going to the police station and stuff like that, and I wanted to get the terminology as right as possible. So yeah, I did that already. Greg says, well, it could be many things. A troll, or maybe he did do something wrong and he is not saying what. Yeah, exactly. Vast majority of the comments under my videos are positive, but every so often you get one of those. Yes, you do. So either you ignore it. If they're really out of control, then you delete it and report them. But if they're just stating a comment and they're not doing anything else, now what can you do? Just ignore it. But the vast majority are happy with what you're doing. And I wouldn't worry about the one troublemaker as much as possible. I know it bothers. It bothers you. And I mean, it bothers me when somebody does that to me. But thankfully, it doesn't happen too often. Kelly says, I thought about going to the local police station as well. I don't know, praying I can research my way out of doing that. Thoughts on it? I wouldn't want to go to the police station. I mean, they may or not be helpful depending on who you ask and whether they're busy doing a, big crime or something like that. I mean, it's possible if you could find the right person to talk to, but I wouldn't want to do it. It's not my way of doing things because I'm afraid of people, and I would be just simply way too nervous to even ask if somebody would talk to me. But there are lots of people that do that. And that's certainly one way of getting a good idea of how things work, if you can get somebody to talk to you. But, if you're not writing about your local police station, then I'm not sure how much help they would be. Because if, you go to your local station, but you're writing about London, or you're writing about, another state that's, things could be different. Yeah. Tell Greg what you're interested in. He's great at doing research and finding sites to help answer questions. He's found a lot of things for me. He's really great at that. I used to be able to do research, but sometimes I can't do it anymore. But Greg will come up with all kinds of links to stuff. He might be able to help you if you have something specific in mind. Give him a try. He's really good at that. I kept mine fairly general, so I didn't have to go into too much detail. I hope. Since there's a possible series in the making, I have a story Bible, and I created my police department, and I have all the names of the people, the different ranks. So I had to research the ranks for, New Jersey and that kind of stuff. I wanted to know what they did, and I found a lot of that stuff, and I put it all in my story Bible. So if I have a question, I can go back and read it. But he's really great at doing that, so. He comes up with some great links. I'm going to start another sprint because We're running behind. I'm talking way too much tonight. So I'm going to start our third, pretty short, it's the third one. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. If you have a question for him, go ahead and ask him. Okay, I see you've got a question for him. Maybe he'll be able to help you with that. You two talk. I'm going to start my timer for my next sprint. 20 minutes starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Pretty sure it's the third sprint. See, Kelly's doing, I'm doing crime mystery. Yep. All right, going to mute. I'll be back in 19 minutes. Okay. Looks like you guys did a lot of talking. I hope Greg was able to help you. Great. Glad he was able to help. I told you it was good. He is very good at this kind of stuff. Chivers is still doing schoolwork. Also, I can't go to my cousin's party because of work. That's the sucky thing about work. You have to be responsible and miss out sometimes on things you really want to do. Hopefully your cousin will understand that you have to work and won't take it out on you. Lots of times I've had to miss things because of work. So yeah, it can be sucky. I just glanced up quickly trying to look at the links. I think you got a lot of information there, Kelly. Hopefully something you can use in your story. So I know what you two were doing the whole time. I started working on comments because I have a ton of them on my blog. So I have one more story. Then I have like, I don't know, 4 more posts that I need to do. I like to keep it as up to date as possible. And I'm close enough if I have to use day 1 to finish setting up my second book for. I mean, I kind of got the beginning, an idea for the beginning. What I have is from blog posts I wrote. So now it needs a beginning. I mean, it's somewhere just, part of the story. Needs a beginning, needs an end. For some reason, it doesn't feel like nano. I guess because not many people are talking about it. And so many people have gotten to the point where they've just dismissed nano. That it's not such a big thing anymore. It's a shame. But they brought it on themselves. They took their perfectly good working website and made a big mess and can't fix it, so. I'm getting hungry again. You wouldn't know I ate before I started this thing. It hasn't even been 2 hours and I'm starving. Well, it's been 2 hours though since I ate, so I guess. But still, 2 hours and I'm starving? That's ridiculous. I haven't been sleeping. I slept from 11 to 3 2 nights ago, 11 to 7 this morning. No, 11 to 6 this morning. She gave me a few more hours, but I was still really, really backlogged from the night before. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow morning. I never know when I'm going to sleep. And since I'm always being interrupted, it's hard. I fall asleep and then the phone rings. And I don't like turning it off in case something happens in the family. I want to know about it. So I usually don't turn my phone off. So the stupid phone rings all day with stupid spam calls, which are annoying. But every now and then it's somebody I need to hear from. So it's like I can't really turn the phone off, especially now when I'm trying to find out about this facility I'm trying to move into. So we'll see how much sleep I get tonight. I need to make another video and see if I can get that one to copy over into YouTube, because the last two I made wouldn't go. So I don't know what's going on with that. Gibberish is trying to fix her sleep schedule. It's hard. I've never slept right. Never had a sleep schedule. Sleep when I can fit it in. I'm bipolar, so my sleep schedule is wacky anyhow. I don't sleep very well. And go for a long time with no sleep, and then all of a sudden I'll crash. And I'll sleep for 24, 44, 48, whatever hours. And just keep on sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. Like, wake up. You gotta wake up one of these days. You can't just sleep your life away. Like to sometimes. I knew what you meant. Don't worry about it. When we were going through stuff today, I found a poem I wrote to my mom. I was going to put that on my website, so I need to set that up as well. Wrote it in 2015. 6 years ago. My mom passed almost 8 years ago. I'm sure I probably put it on one of my blogs, but I'll probably put it on the new blog as a new stuff, because I don't know where it's at. Just put it up. I found it. I said, well, I'll put it up on this one. I know it's not on this blog. Not from 2015, that's for sure. This one's only a little over a year old. I tried to go back to my old one like I normally do, but they made so many changes to WordPress, I can't go back to just a list of posts like I used to do. There might be a way to do it, but I don't know how. And start going through them and, deleting what I don't like or fixing them up if I think they're fixable. There's a lot of stuff I wrote when I first started writing that, need work. I don't know how to get back to them anymore. They've changed WordPress so much. I'm not really sure how it goes. Yeah. I have to put it up on my thing. Maybe tomorrow, if I think about it, I'll post the link to it. I write poetry every now and then. Sometimes it rhymes. Sometimes it doesn't. When I first started writing poetry, I did not believe that you could write a poem if it didn't rhyme. It took me a long time to accept the fact that you can write poetry and it doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't have to rhyme. It took me a really long time to get that through my head. And then we had the crying session today because I came across something that was my mom's when we were going through my stuff, and that made me remember, a memory. And then I started crying, and I was trying to tell my daughter why I was crying, and then she started crying because that was her grandmother. And we're both sitting there crying. I'm like, get rid of it, please. I can't do this. I don't need to keep it to remember my mom. It's just creating problems. I mean, it's not something that you would, it's a really stupid thing. And, it's like not something you would put up on your shelf and display. So I said, just get rid of it, please. I can't do this. And then, like I had said earlier, they just lost his father, her husband's father. And so it's really raw. They just lost his father. So it's even worse than my mother. So, and of course now she's worried about me because I got so many health problems. Wow, it's almost 11 o'clock. Those 2 hours go so darn fast. You know what? It's funny you asked about my dad because I finally got a hold of my sister today, and I said, how's Dad doing? Because he was doing bad. He was being really, really mean. And I mean mean. And he's not a mean person. And he was being mean to my sister. And she's like, I am not going to put myself through this abuse. And she almost stopped having anything to do with him. And she said, well, it's not too bad. So when I talked to her today, she said, he's a new person. She said, now that they're out of lockdown, they're allowed out of the rooms, they're allowed to go to the common room, they're allowed to talk to other people, they're allowed to associate with people. She said, now that he's allowed around other human beings, he's nice to me. So he's a whole new person. So I was glad to hear that. Because I know she took a lot of abuse from him. And he's just not a mean person. I mean, it's just like, what's going on here? But now that, things are getting back to normal, because he had a stroke. I mean, he's got brain damage and he's got dementia. So there's a lot of times when he'll do some things that, we can't do much about. He's had a stroke it was 4 years ago that he had that stroke. He's 89 years old and his body is still going strong. Even though his brain is going, his body is still strong, and he just wants to go and be with my mom, and he's not getting anywhere. He even had COVID and it was nothing. He was asymptomatic, no symptoms, no problems. He went right through it without a bit of trouble. Because he thought, I'm gonna get that, virus, and I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna be with my wife. And virus said, no, you're not. My sister told him that. She goes, no, you're not, Dad. You really aren't. Because you're too anxious for it to happen. It's not going to happen. And it didn't happen. He's still going strong. Greg says it's 4 a.m. here and I feel like I got nothing done. Well, I did a lot today. I did enough for like 10 of you. My body is aching from it. We carried so much stuff out of this apartment, whether it's trash or donation, it isn't funny. We took a lot out. And then a bunch we took downstairs for the donation table downstairs. So, yeah. 4 a.m. Yeah, he's over in Ireland, so it's 4 a.m. It's 11 o'clock where I am. I'm supposed to be ending at 11 o'clock. I used to write all hours of the night and day. I had to cut down. My physical health was suffering. Gives me time to do things too. Oh yeah, my dad came through COVID with not a single problem. They kept telling him, you were sick. And he says, why do you keep telling me I was sick? I was not sick. Because he didn't feel anything and he doesn't understand what COVID and virus exactly mean. So he's like, I wasn't sick. Why do you keep telling me I was sick? Because they consider him technically sick even though he was asymptomatic. All right, you're in New York, I'm in New Jersey. So we're pretty close together. So yeah, he still does that. Like, why do you keep telling me I was sick? I don't understand. I was not sick. Quit telling me I was sick. Yes, I'm learning I have to take care of myself. I'm tired of getting yelled at by people on here. My own children, of course, are always yelling at me. And, it's like, oh, I really do need to take care of myself. And I didn't have time to do anything else. Now, this way I get to read. I've been beta reading for Greg. That's given me something to read. So I've been doing that. And normally I wouldn't have time to do anything like that. But because I'm only doing 2-hour sprints 3 times a week, I can go ahead and, do things like beta read for Greg and do other things. And so, yeah, you get to do a lot more because I'm not always online. I miss it, though. I mean, I've started to get used to the fact that I'm not doing those hours, but I do miss them. Chivers is in New York, too. Wow. Yeah, I'm in South Jersey and closer to Philly. The Jersey Shore is on the other side of the state, and my kids love to go to the shore all the time. I'm not a shore person, and physically I can't handle it anymore. But they're always down the shore during the summer. They got their vacation. One of my daughters has her vacation coming up and is planning on going down to the shore for a little bit. If I don't end up moving, of course. And screwing everything up. Hopefully that. I mean, it's right now, it's the end of the month. I can't see them starting because when it starts, Medicaid will take my disability check. Well, it's almost time for my disability check. So there's not enough time to set it up. So I don't think if it happens, it won't be this month. Maybe it'll be part of this month. I don't know. I'm not sure how the whole thing works myself. But now it's the holiday. Nobody's working. I'm sure I won't get any answering for a while. Greg is looking at Google Maps. Just realized the Statue of Liberty is technically in New Jersey. Yes, it is. It is such an icon of New York. Yes, it is. But technically, yes, it's in New Jersey. A lot of fighting about the Statue of Liberty going on, let me tell you, between the two states. Because it was always, let's go to New York and go to the Statue of Liberty. Well, technically, it's in New Jersey. And you can get to the statue from New Jersey. Because when we went as a family, we went from New Jersey. We took the ferry from New Jersey. When I was a child, the Girl Scouts, we went from New York to the statue. So. Very, very strange. I was so mad though. We were the next person in line to go up, and they shut it down for the day. They said, sorry, there's not enough time for any more people to go up and come back down. They're like, we're the next person in line. Please, our kids are waiting for this. Sorry. Everybody says the same thing. Everybody behind you would say the same thing. We can't just keep letting people tramp up there all day and all night. So we went all the way over there and weren't allowed to go up it. I had been up it as a child and when I was, like I said, in the Girl Scouts, but my family had never been there and the whole thing got messed up because we couldn't go in. So the big treat was the ride across the ferry boat. Gibber says, I think I did enough schoolwork for one day. I'm going to read a little and hopefully I'll sleep early, but I doubt that. Yeah, well, I have medicine to take and have to eat something. And then I'll probably head to bed eventually. We will see. It is definitely time. It is 11:04. Time to shut down my stream. Hope you guys all had a great time. Hope to see you again. And my next stream, see, today's Tuesday. My next one is Thursday night, 9 to 11. Oh, yeah, and I got that video I have to make. I made a bunch of other videos, and I can't get them. I can't get them to transfer over. Spent a lot of time on one because it was the share the love tag they got going around, and I did all that time, answering all the questions and, all that stuff, and then I can't transfer it from my phone, and I don't know why. YouTube keeps doing something. It's gotta be YouTube. I don't think it's my iPhone, but then maybe it is my iPhone. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. You're welcome for the sprints. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, no, Greg. I told Charlie if he goes to Twitch, I'm not going to be there. So, nope. No co-hosting other streams. I mean, I can't say that somebody won't ask me. But at this point, normally I would every Wednesday I would co-host for Charlie. But at this point, I'm not feeling Twitch. So I doubt it's going to happen. I just don't like Twitch, and I don't feel like I want to support it. So they made their decision. I made my decision. They have to do what they have to do, and I have to do what I have to do. So as far as co-hosting other streams right now, nothing's scheduled. I did that one with Allie last week. That was fun. Maybe she'll ask me again sometime soon. I had a couple people co-host with me, but getting people to co-host, they say yeah, and then you try to pin them down to a date, and it's like impossible. It's like if you don't want to do it, just say no. Don't string me along. I hate when they do that. I had a lot of people string me along, and they never did end up co-hosting. It's hard pinning Charlie down. I wanted him to be my first one because he was the first one to let me co-host. And I explained this to him. I wanted him to be my first, and I wanted to start because I would like to get, other people. And it took me forever to pin him down. Pin her, him, she. I don't know anymore. Just frustrated. But I'm not, at this point, I'm not planning on doing Twitch. Will I change my mind? Who knows? But as of right now, no. I have no desire to be on Twitch. And I see an awful lot of people getting rude about it. And they've got people that they posted a StreamYard, do that backwards every time. A StreamYard, sprint live stream, and people are lined up waiting, and 10 or 15 minutes will go by, and then they'll come in and say, oh, sorry, I'm streaming on Twitch today, and then just leave. And I'm like, God, you're rude. And I don't know what Twitch is doing to people, making them rude. Okay. So, am I mad about it? Yeah, I'm still mad about it. Changing my mind is something, right now I'm not really considering it. I won't say down the line. I may consider it down the line, but I'm not really planning on it. I had a couple people I know go on Twitch and say, what the heck? Because it was a gaming stream. And that's what was mostly on there, was gamers. Like, I don't understand how this even works. It's not easy. It's not, it was a gamer stream. And now Authortubers is taking it over. And they say they can make money, more money. So who am I to argue with them if they can make more money? But I don't know. I don't know if I will consider changing my mind or not. Really don't know. I won't know what to do with myself tomorrow night, though, because normally I would be streaming with Charlie. And tomorrow I will not be streaming with Charlie. I mean, I hardly see him, her, God, them begging me to be on there. So if they were to beg me, I may consider it, but I doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen. So right now, staying where I'm at until I can't, because I don't know what's going to happen when I move. I have no idea what's going to happen when I move. And as I told Jenna, if I don't get a few more people, like the other night, it was you and me, Greg, for most of the night. And then 11 o'clock, a few people popped on. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend 2 hours either talking to myself or talking just to you when I want to do a stream. And, and then people pop in at 11 o'clock when I'm supposed to be going off. And I don't know if I will continue. I told her, I said, I don't know if I'm going to continue if it stays this way. Because I am losing more and more people all the time. I'm gaining some new ones. Don't get me wrong. I'm gaining some new people. So it might be okay. I might gain enough people to make it worthwhile. But if I find myself sitting there talking to myself for 2 hours, I'm not going to keep doing it. It's just not worth it. I mean, it's hard to sit there and talk for 2 hours when there's nobody listening and you know nobody's listening. Well, it's now 12 minutes past 11. I mean, from what I've seen of Twitch, it seems like it costs more. You have to, spend money to do this and to get rid of the ads and to I'm not seeing where they're making big amounts of money to, offstand. I don't know what all the charges are. I don't know if they. Huh. Hi, Lizzie. Hi. Let's just stop in and say hey. Kelly says understandable. What is rough? I mean, you try sitting there for 2 hours talking to yourself. You don't know what to say. The same old stuff every day? No, can't do that. Well, thank you, Lizzie. Greg told me earlier. I didn't even realize I had hit the 200. So thank you. But I'm not going to get too excited yet because they can disappear just as fast as they appear. I'll wait till I get enough on the other side of 200 before I feel safe enough to say, okay, I hit 200. Kelly says I do it every day. What? Talk to yourself? I talk to myself a lot. But not using it in front of people. I'm afraid to even go to the page and look at it. I'm afraid it'll disappear right in front of my eyes. 199. No. You can't do that to me. It's getting harder to find people to go on streams too, unless you want to go to Twitch. Everybody's moving to Twitch. So finding StreamYard streams are hard. Everybody's switching over. Kelly, you can do it in your car because I can pretend I'm on myself. Yeah. You know what's funny? People, I don't realize they have an earbud in. And they start talking, and I'm like, what? And they're like, I'm not talking to you. I'm like, well, who are you talking to? And then they point at their ear. I'm like, oh, sorry. They just suddenly start talking, and they're standing behind me. I'm like, how am I supposed to know they're talking to somebody on the phone? You can barely see those earbuds. And if they turn the wrong difference, the wrong way, you don't see it at all. And it's like, well, you talk to me. No, I'm not talking to you. Strange. Well, yes, I want to go. The only reason I'm not rushing right out of here is I still have unlimited till the 9th of July. And then I have to watch my time real close. Because I only get 20 free hours. I dropped my unlimited. All my pretty little pictures will go away and it'll just be the plain old black with the little duck logo on it. But I can't see paying $25 a month just because I'm cutting down my hours. So why should I pay $25 a month so I can have, a few extra minutes on my stream? So, good night, Greg. Good night, Gibberish. Good night, Kelly. Good night, Lizzie. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. So, good night, guys. See you next time.